You have to be standing to take a shower.
Bright sunny skies. It's so humid and hot.
In Defender, and we are riding right now into the rain. Let's take a look at that.
Afternoon update. Our Captain Corey DeCook just got here just a little while ago and had our last load of lumber for this portion of the build. So you can see I've got some more 2x6s behind me. Those will be for our interior fascia outside and maybe some for some beds, I guess. I don't know, I'm probably not saying all the words right, but there's still a few things. Also, he brought some mattresses for inside once we're finally able to get in there and build our beds. Weather looks great still for our day today. It's Tuesday, and the beautiful here. The winds died right down, but when Corey was on his way out, seas were really rough, and he was slow going. 10 knots, he said. That's ridiculous. Waves were high, but as soon as he got close to Perl Island, everything quieted right down, and it's beautiful here. So tomorrow looks like it's going to be very windy, and Thursday looks like we could get some rain, and then beautiful weather back again on Friday. So going to take advantage of the sun today and this nice calm night tonight. We're going to try to get our guys to work as late as they can, and you can see we're just starting to sheet that roof, and then we'll need to put some put our metal siding on it. And so hopefully tonight that's done, and maybe we can wrap the cabin tomorrow and both cabins on Wednesday. So everything's moving smooth.
It's a simple floor plan on the inside. We just need to sleep 4 people, right? So what was your thought on that? How did you decide what we were doing in the inside?
So we had about 5 iterations first,
Yeah.
and then decided, wait a minute, if I move the door down more to the center, then I could put bunks on each end, and that would be easy. And the other thing is we have to take into consideration is that not everybody can climb a ladder to
Good
get
point.
5 foot off the air or 5 foot off the floor and get into a bunk and then turn themselves around and get back out of it.
Mhm.
You can get out of it very fast, but fast and safely don't usually go together.
Yeah, those are good points. And we did take into consideration other people's advice, which was good because remember, we built this cabin in our driveway in Michigan first. And we had 2 known things there, the actual windows, we already had them. And we had to build our cabin in Michigan based on those window sizes, right?
And we didn't put any exterior on the cabin there either as far as OSB goes. And we didn't do anything with the interior. And there was no essentially floor or deck material. So all it was the frame in Michigan.
Right. And it was mainly because Bill wanted to figure out, I wanted an open concept. So Bill wanted to make sure that he and the contractor back in Michigan, Hunter, would figure that out, and he did with a 2 by 6 by, was it 2 by 12 by 16?
Yeah,
2 by 12 by 16. Three of them nailed together. That made our ridge beam, and that holds the weight of the roof, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it looks really great. Gives you a lot of space. You don't have anything structures that are on the ground kind of get in the way.
Right. And storage.
Yeah, and it was for nice storage. So we didn't have the windows chosen for out here. That was going to be something we would have to get from our local builder, and that could be standard. So we could easily change that once we got here. So once you figured out what window size was stock, right?
Yep.
Then it was easy to say, okay, those two windows are going to go here, and then put the door in the middle, and then your plan came together. When we first start building this cabin, you have to build the floor, right? But before you get to the floor, you have to build some kind of a structure with posts to hold the floor. Well, guess who got the job of digging all of those holes to put those posts in for the floor?
The guy with the least seniority. Exhibit A. So, yeah, another thing is that back in Michigan, it's all dirt, right?
Right.
What I mean by that, it's either sand or it's clay or it's topsoil, right? Here you go about 3 feet and then it's rocks.
Pebbles. It's like our beach, right?
Yeah, small, like they call -2, right? So when you go down there with the postal digger and you go like this, right, to close it up, right? All the rocks just fall at the bottom of the postal. So what you have to do is you have to get on the ground, reach in there with your arm, take a screwdriver,
loosen it up,
grab it, throw it out, grab it, throw it out, grab it, throw it out, etc., 100 times, right? And then figure out where it's at. So here's the thing. You want to make sure and go down as far as you can, because I kept hearing stories about that 50, 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds is in some cases, the buildings would blow over.
Yeah, we did hear that.
Literally blow over. And in some instances, I can't believe this, but I can believe this, is they actually take, if this was your building like this, right? They actually take steel rods, go down, and then chain the building over the roof. They put, use a smaller chain, and then use a rubber hose, so it doesn't rub against your roof on the side right there to keep your building down. So we did obviously 6 different pylons, but we also did cross bracing in the bottom too to keep it from racking. So
wow, you learn a lot, and weather does affect everything, and that's almost hurricane force winds when you do that chaining over the structure. A lot of places that are in hurricane targets do that kind of a thing, and we do have sustained winds out here in the winter over 50 miles per hour. Sustained, and that's hard on anything out in the wind, right?
Yeah, that one night, so I had a fire in a burn barrel, and I put a little hole in the side there for an air hole, right? And the winds got so gusty that the wind was blowing in that little hole, was creating I'm not going to call it a vacuum, but like a Venturi, right? And it sucked out all of the ashes, right? Like some of them were still lit. And it looked like something from Star Wars Under Attack, as it was just like coming out of there. So, difference in the weather and also in geography and the soil type.
Right. And luckily in the spring when we were there in May, it's a little wet. So all those sparks going all over. I know you woke up in the middle of the night, you looked out and you're like, what is going on out there? It's just like the sparks everywhere, you said.
Yeah.
But luckily those sparks landing didn't burn anything else down because it's so heavy with moisture at this time of year.
Yeah, the ground was saturated. Grasses were saturated.
Yeah, so we weren't going to burn anything down at that time. Whew. Well, that was pretty crazy. Well, you did a fine job on those post holes, and then you started to build the actual deck for the cabin itself. Were there any struggles with that?
It just took us a while to get the
square.
Deck square. Yeah, but after that, it was engineered well enough that once we put the decking down, it went up.
Okay.
Fairly quick.
We've watched a lot of our own favorites on YouTube on how to build cabins in Alaska specifically, and they have done some where they just have a cement cookie and then they put a big piece of pylon on top of it or a big tree trunk, and then they start building on top of that. Why didn't we do something simple like that? Is it because of the racking and because of the high winds? Okay. I just wanted you to, because I know we see that. Yeah.
I just didn't trust it. I wanted it. This is, it's costly to get stuff out here.
Sure.
So, and it's just a better way to do it. It's just remove your doubt.
Absolutely.
Chilly out here on the beach today, but I'm kind of thinking back about the house in Homer. So while the guys are working on the cabin, I'm kind of looking for stuff for a Homer house and do some decorating. And we've always wanted to take some driftwood and use it in the house. So I found something perfect. So if you recall, Alaska, the Last Frontier, Otz Lee Kilcher and his dad, Otz, and his son, Etienne, built a small cabin. And when they did it, part of the lumber that they used was milled right here on Perl Island, and Otz brought out his lumber mill. And they left us a real nice pile of drops. So thank you, Otz. Thank you so much, Otz Lee and Etienne. So I'm gonna pick off this pile because I think some of these drops are still pretty cool, gnarly on one end. It's nothing that we would want to use in our build, but these drops are pretty cool, maybe as a headboard or something decorative in the house. So I'm picking through the pile, and I'll show you what I end up with. I'm gonna leave it out here by the beach because eventually when we head back, we'll be going back from the beach probably way over here. So this is our pathway. You can see I'm just gonna stack them up right here, and hopefully Bill's okay with it. There they are, way over, right around the corner. Yep. Just bringing his tail up. Wow. Yeah. so cool.
You don't always have to be standing to take a shower.
Bright sunny skies. It's so humid and hot.
In Defender, and we are riding right now into the rain. Let's take a look at that.